All right, welcome to part 2 of Galaxy Intruders. This time we're going to get our ship moving and fix a little problem we had last time, which was the bad guys were a little too small to see. So we're going to zoom in. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I already have our project open. I'm going to open up the room. In the settings tab, I'm going to change the size of this room. I'm going to make the room a lot smaller. And it'll also help us give us that pixelated old school feeling. So we're going to go 512 by 512. And then now you can see our ship is outside of the room. So let's click him and drag him in the room. Actually, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so to zoom in, we have this room that's 512 by 512. What we're going to do is we're going to turn on a view and use that view like a camera and kind of zoom in on it. So first thing you need to do is say enable the use of views. If you forget this little check box, it's going to drive you crazy. So next, we're going to say view 0. The view is visible when the room starts. The view in the room is our 512 by 512. It's the whole room. We're going to see the whole room. But the port on screen, now this is how big the game will display once it's running. So I'm going to say, let's go 960 by 960. Go ahead and hit F5 and see what that looks like. And so that zoomed in a little bit so you can see exactly what the guys are doing. The little jumping jacks and the little squid thing. Anyway, this kind of gives us a more retro feel to the game. Now let's move on to making our ship player move. So we're going to open up the object ship and we're going to add an event. We're going to say when the ship is created, we're going to set some things up. First thing, we're going to go over to the control on these tabs over here, go to control and drag and code. You could use these drag and drop game builder pieces, but I prefer the code. It gives you a little bit more control over what exactly is going on. And don't worry, I'll show you all the code you need to make this work. Okay, first off, in any piece of code, if you hit 3 backslashes like this, up here where it says execute a piece of code, whatever you write here will replace that. So let's say init for initializing the ship. So we're going to set some things up. We want a max speed of movement. So we're going to say max speed, if I could type, equals, we'll go 5. And the reason why I went full caps like this is it means it's a constant. It means don't mess with it. It's not enforced, but if you ever see something like this in someone's code, it kind of is implied. Please don't change this. Anyway, moving on, and we're going to say how much power are we going to put into the ship when we want to move it. And we're going to do 0.8 for that. Wow, there we go. All right, and that's all for the create step. And you see how it changed to init right here as soon as I was done. We're going to add another event. We're going to call it, this one's going to be a step event. And step events, they happen every single frame of your game. And this is somewhere where you would do like your keyboard checking and your movement and your gravity and all that stuff. This is like a physics loop or the game loop, but it's specific to your game object. So go ahead and grab another control code event right here. We're going to start off and say, what is this script doing? We're going to be move ship. This is the move ship code. Okay, we're going to start off by declaring some variables that will hold true or false based on if we're pressing a key or not. So first, we're going to start with the keyword var for variable. We're going to say left key equals keyboard. And here's a little trick. If you hit control space, it'll bring up this autocomplete. menu, which is really nice. You can arrow through these and hit enter when you find the one you want. So we want keyboard check. I'm going to say virtual key, VK underscore, and here's all the virtual keys you can use. And what we're going to use is left, like that. What that's doing is it's calling this function keyboard check. It's checking to see if the virtual key left, which is the left arrow key, is being pressed. And if it is, it's storing true in this left key. If it's not, it stores false. So we're going to do the same thing for right. VAR, right key, equals keyboard check, VK, right. Okay, so now that we know which keys we're pressing, we need to check if they're pressed and do something about it. So we're going to say if left key and two and signs means and. So if this is true and something else is true, we're going to say the absolute value, ABS, is a function that returns the absolute value of a number. We're going to say h speed. Now this is a built-in variable that holds the horizontal speed of your game object. So we're going to say if left key and absolute value of h speed is less than max speed. Remember we set this up in the create event. If that's true, let's do something. The thing we're going to do is h speed. And since we're moving left, we need to subtract our power from the h speed. And to do that, you could say h speed equals h speed minus power, right? You could do it that way. Or a shorthand way of doing this is to say h speed minus equals power. And what that means is h speed equals itself minus power. Okay, so we're done in there. We'll close that. Next thing we need to do is say if right key and absolute value of h speed is greater than, wait, no, less than max speed. We are going to, since it's the right key, we're going to say h speed and plus equals power. Go ahead and close that off. And we could, oh, I have plus, that won't work. Plus equals. Okay, so we could run our game and see what happens. We should be able to control our ship a little bit. Oh, nope, guess not. Create event, action number 1 at line 3. What is wrong here? Ah, power equals 0.8. Now it'll run. Hit F5 again. Okay, so here's our ship down at the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. He's down here. Hit the left key and he adds left space. Oh, but he keeps going off into the end of time, off the screen. We're going to fix that. So go back to your step event. Let's close this error. Go back in the move step. Now we're going to add drag so our character doesn't just keep going and going and going. Put a little comment there. It's just 2 backslashes as a comment to yourself when you're reading the code. Okay, so we're going to say variable drag equals 0.2. And you could put this in the create event if you wanted to. I'm just going to put it right here with all the rest of the drag code. All right, so if h speed is greater than or equal to drag, we're going to do something. We're going to take h speed and it's going to equal itself minus drag. So we're applying the drag to the h speed. If it's going to the right, we're going to subtract drag and actually kind of slow it down. It's kind of confusing, but stick with me here. So if h speed is less than drag, we are going to h speed plus equals drag. So now this one is saying if h speed is less than drag, which means it's less than 0.2, must mean it's a negative number and it's going to the left. So we're going to add drag to it to slow it down. All right, and finally, if absolute value of h speed is less than or equal to drag, h speed equals 0. Equals 0. And what this will do is this, oops, I forgot a parenthesis here. What this does is it keeps your ship from creeping. What I mean by that is, like, if you were at 0.2, it might not subtract drag from it, and so it might stay at 0.2 and just keep creeping even though you're not pressing the control. So let's give this a shot and see how this works. Hit F5 and press the left key and let off, and he slows down to a stop. Press the right key and let off, slows down to a stop. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. All right. Join me next time when I teach you how to make your ship shoot those bad guys.